Welcome back, guys. We are back with the Lego game. Let me just show you this. So last time, earlier this morning, we've made a save in the load function for this thing. If I can just get it to work. Having the first focus a little bit hard to get. So here it is. So we got our sheet. We were able to load stuff on top of it, and we were loading something that is always on the same key. Basically, I've made this while offline. It's a little. It's my drawing. It says hi. It's missing one cube. Alright. So we've made it using this menu. This menu you saw at the very top hand side. If I just show it again. And in this menu we can actually navigate, go save, go load. We can also cancel. We have some confirmation going on. So are you sure you want to load your object or save your object? But we're not using any keys to do that. So you cannot save more than just one object, which kind of sucks. So we're gonna actually fix that right now. And to do so, we start doing the save manager. We're gonna keep working on the save manager. In fact, we are going to open it right now. And every time we actually launch the save or the load menu, I'd like to load a list of every single strings we have inside of the player pref. So if we just go up a bit. Where is it? Okay, so it's about here. In both cases, we want to load the string. So we'll have like a function that says refresh private void refresh save list. So we can actually see every single one of them. And it's going to be called inside of the unsave click and also inside of the unload click. Now, we have a save prefab and a save list. So we'll be instantiating objects inside of the save list. Basically, that's what we're going to be doing. But first, let's get all of our string. I think there's a way to do that via the player pref. I am not sure. Okay, so is there a way to get all that is inside of the player pref? I'm going to Google that really quickly. So Unity get all of player prefs. A bit of Googling today, but I think we can actually get through it. So there is some stuff on Unify Wiki that we might want to have a look at, but I'm looking for an easy solution, something super fast. I thought that would be like I thought that would be some kind of function that returns me this, but it's pretty much not there. Okay, so we'll have to find a new way to actually go about that. What I feel like doing is we're going to have like some kind of key in front of our, well, some kind of word in front of our key every time. So here's my plan. In the save data, we're gonna say string data S. We're gonna start with an S, like a basic S. And then we'll do S modulo. Now this way our string is going to look like, it's going to look like S modulo, and then we have all our blocks and we end up with another modulo. Okay, so that's going to work. Now what I need to do is after that S, I want to be putting some kind of number because that's going to be my key, basically. Or now that I think about it, I don't need to actually put that in here. Sorry about that. I'm being all messed up. It's in the key. I need to change that. So I'm thinking about doing something like S and then adding the number of how many index we have. If this is a first save, then I'm going to say plus, well, 0.toString, which is a bit stupid right now, but you get the idea. So every time we have a, we're going to like go through all of them and count how many saves we have, depending on which save this one is, then we're just simply going to replace the key by this name. So let's see how we can actually go about doing that. First thing I need to know is how many there is. So I'll keep track of a private int save counter is gonna start with 0, and then what we'll do at the very beginning is we'll do a private void start, and we're gonna actually iterate through all the keys we can find. So we're gonna go ahead and do something of the sort. Just try to follow with me. We're gonna be doing a for int I. Actually, let's do a while player pref has key, and then it's gonna be s. Or any, well, really, it doesn't have to be anything. It could be like just a number right now. In fact, let's do the only number, yeah. So, has key save counter to string. So, has key 0 in this case, right? If it has 0, we're simply going to go ahead and just add this to our save list and then do a save counter ++. Do we actually want to do a... We don't really want to have anything else, to be honest. We don't really want to have a add to list here. We'll add to list at the moment that we actually pop the menu, so refresh save list. So right now, right here, we're just counting how many saves we have. And that should actually do it. So with that information, we can now go down here and do a set string. We can do actually a save counter ++. The string is going to be save counter to string. And I think this might actually work to actually just iterate through them. Okay, so what are we going to be doing next? When we refresh the save list, I'm going to be doing something like for int I is equal to 0 as long as I is smaller than save counter I ++. And then there should be something for every single one of those. So there should be like a string for every single player pref. Partially save. So I'm feeling like I need to try this out before going any further. So let's just like whenever we do save, or whenever we do a refresh save list, we are going to debug.log the amount of save we have. So debug.log save counter, go in our game, open this up. We should have no save right now, so 0 save. Then we go here, we do a save. It says 0. Is that normal? So we do a save counter ++. Do we do it before? Oh, we actually do that after, so my bad. What's up, Banana Man? We are back as well. If we were to open this, then it would say 1, I believe. Yeah, it does say 1. I just realized that I'm doing this check at the wrong place, but it does say 1. And I'm also going to remove these guys. They're starting to get really, really annoying. These debug.log just laying around. So, get rid of that. It does count the amount of save. Now, I'm going to try and save once more on a different... Oh, we get a problem. Let's see. My webcam is broke again. It does that sometime. Kind of annoying. Alright, we're back. So, let's try and save another little icon we do. So, why not this kind of icon? Good. Let's save. It still says 0 because it didn't really calculate the first one, which kind of sucks. Alright, might as well go look inside of our player pref. See if we managed to actually... We got 0. Well, I mean, we got 1. We didn't get 0. It's like, for some reason, it didn't really take 0 in. It's probably because I'm saving it all wrong, actually. We should be incrementing the counter after saving. So I'm seeing this thing here. Let's go ahead and just put it afterward. And now inside of my start, I will do a debug.log of how many saves we have, so save counter. Assuming, of course, that my first line works. my while line works. So right now it says 0 because we don't have anything at the index 0. We're gonna save something really quickly, so let's just go ahead and save this. We saved it. Let's go back. And it should say 2, and it does say 2. Okay, so the logic is working. All we gotta do at this point is make sure that we're putting names to that. Or actually, let's do the refresh save list beforehand. And also the refresh save list has to be done somewhere else than on load click, because that's on the second window. We need this to happen on the first window. On save menu click is the only place we want this to happen. Alright. We are going to go ahead and just go back inside of our game really quickly, go on our save menu, and try to create a prefab for this guy. So we have our save list. Let's go ahead and just make another. Could be making a panel right here, and banner protocol. Can we make markless AR in Vuforia? I am not sure. I wish we could, but it would require some other kind of technology to like scan your background or do something like that. It would be so cool to actually just do it without AR. But I honestly don't know. Would have to look for those. Okay, so this is a save. Let's also make sure this has a vertical layout group. So for all the saves I had, it actually just stacks here. Okay, so we have one save. We are going to add a layout element to it. Make sure this is not force expand on height. Has a preferred height, say 50, why not? And this save would contain, say, the name of that save. So I'll just add a text right now with nothing in it. And I'll say, save name, something like that. It's gonna require some love in the end because it's really not that good looking right now. But we have our prefab here. This is what we want as a prefab. So every time we have a new save, it just goes like that. And eventually we'll add the scroll bar as well. Well, just afterward actually. So let's just make sure we have this save. We are going to drag and drop it inside of a prefab folder that we don't have just yet. Let's create that. Yeah, Pokemon Go does have, it doesn't really have AR, to be honest. I mean, it does have some kind of, you know, you can see the Pokemon in real life, but the Pokemon does not stick anywhere. It really just goes with the orientation of your phone. So you could be driving and the Pokemon would, you know, would stay in front of you. So it doesn't really have AR. However, you can try to simulate AR using, like they're using actual orientation of the phone. So if it's pointing north, then, you know, there's something in front of you. And if you are pointing your phone south, then you're not seeing that something anymore. Maybe something, I don't know, man, just gotta be creative a bit. I'm not quite sure how they do all what they do, but that's a good start. Alright, so we have our save. Let's get rid of that. Or actually, fuck. Alright, let's go back. I had to hit apply first. At this point, we should now have, under our game manager, there's a save manager. Let's find the save list, put it here, and also the prefab, put it there. Now, every time we want to refresh a save list, what we're going to be doing is we're going to start by grabbing that save list and just make sure there's no more children inside of it. So for each transform t in save list, destroy t.gameObject. So we're getting rid of the game object inside that save list, and then afterward we're going to instantiate some more game objects. So game object go is equal to instantiate save prefab as game object. Grab that geo, transform, set parent. Oops. We want to set the parent of that transform to the save list. This way it actually fits under the vertical layout group. And a little bit later on, we'll add the on-click event to it. So we're going to turn that into a button. And when we click on that button, then we are going to have some kind of action. I still don't know what kind of action we'll have, but we'll find out when it's time to. I'll also set the text button. So let's just give this a try. Whoa, why is this up? This should not actually pop. So we have two saves and it's actually just creating two things here. So at least it kind of understood that. Now we're going to be finding a way to keep track of the names of those. Because, you know, we have the save and load, that's cool, but we really just want to be able to name those. And what I was feeling like doing earlier when I was messing around with the save data is actually putting a name right here. And we would keep it at the very front. We would keep it at the very front of our actual string, of the actual save string. And I don't think that's a bad idea, so we're going to go ahead and just do that right here. Let's just assume that our name was test. Or, let's just name it test, why not? We would do test, then plus modulo sign. And I want to be able to grab this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just clear what I have right now. So press F5 here, clear my three strings actually. Create a save really quickly. Also going to disable this by default. Okay, so let's create a save. Yes, we want to save, why not? Then we pop this again, we can see that this is our save. Now we're going to be making sure that the save name actually get replaced by the first part of our string. So what I will be doing here is I will go ahead and just do a geo.getComponent. We're getting the component button, actually the component text in button, which we will have to include unityengine.ui to make this work. So right here, dot text, and that text is going to be dot text, and that text is going to be the first string in our array of string. But we have to get it first, so let's do a string array level data, or not level data, but save data is equal to player pref get string. We're getting the string, and the key is I to string. And what we want to do with this is take that string and then split it apart. So split, we split it, of course, at the modulo sign. Is that going to work? Oh, I'm still in the get string. My bad. Okay, so we split a modulo, and then the text component is going to be save data at the index 0. Let's give this a try. Gonna go here, just make sure I toggle this off, and click here. We still have saved name. Okay, so we got a null reference exception at least. We're not able to find the text component. That's normal. Let's do get component in children instead, since the save prefab does not contain the text. It's the children beneath it that contains the text. So just a small mistake here on my part. Let's do that again. We have test being the name of our thing. All right, cool. So at least we got this working. Now, I think we're going to add an input field so we can actually set a name to this thing. So that save and load is going to be a little bit smaller. Oh, sorry, not the save list is going to be a little bit smaller. Let's go for 300. And in between these two, there is going to be an input field. So in between action and the save list, just like that, there is going to be an input field, and I'm not quite, here it is, it's kind of hidden. We need to put a layout element on it to make sure it's a little bit bigger. I'll go with a preferred width of 500, or maybe less than that, 400, to match the actual list. Any height of, say, 30. We could also, I'm also going to be storing this in a other panel, so put that here. I'll take the layout element of my input field, just transfer it over to this guy. Can I actually drag and drop? I think I can actually do a drag and drop. Yep, that's gonna be better. All right. The reason I wanted to do this is so I can actually fit two things in here with a horizontal layout group. Don't expand on the width, don't expand on height. Let's put a layout element on the input field again. And this is gonna have a minimum width of 50, not 50, 30, sorry. Or preferred height of 30 actually. And the width is just gonna be, I don't know, the width is gonna be like 300 maybe. And in front of that, I'll add a text. Text is gonna be right here. This one is gonna be save name, or save file. How do you actually say it? I mean, how is it called in the Windows Explorer? File name, okay. File name, let's do that, even though it's not a file. Maybe even add a layout element to it, have a minimum width of, or a preferred width of 100, so it actually fits. And I'm just going to modify the font a bit, like that. Bold, and put that in the center. Center doesn't seem to work because of the width is not, the height is not really matching, so preferred height is 30, like that. Okay, so we end up with something like that. What I'm going to do here, what I tend to do with input fields is I just rename them and I call them by name. So I'm going to call this file name input. And it's really important that I remember this name because this is what I'll be using to find my game object basically. So what do we have at this point? We have the input field, that's cool. Let's make sure that whatever we input in there is actually transferred to our save file. Now to do this, we'll be swapping this thing around. So on top of my save here, I'll be doing something of the sort. Game object, actually text, string file name is equal to game object dot find. Finding the object with name file name input. Then we do a get component. Not in children, just get component. Input field. And then dot text. So we get the file name that is inside of the input field. Now if that file name is empty, if file name is equal to null, I'm gonna be naming it the same exact thing as the save counter. So I'll say save counter file name is equal to save counter to string. And then just afterward, we're gonna do save data is equal to file name plus this thing. All right, let's check this out. Still some issues. I'm thinking about some other issues that are going to pop up eventually. But yeah, when we press on this, we got the test, that's fine. If we just try to play this really quickly, if this goes away, it's not going away, okay. Play this, let's just do a small shape. This is gonna be, I don't know how to name this. We'll find a name for this, so let's go ahead and just say green line. This is so original. So save this. Yes, we want to say we get a null reference. Let's go see what is the problem. Not able to find a file name input for some reason. So file name input, oh, it's actually toggled off, that's why. That's an actual problem. Since our input field is actually toggled off, we don't have like access to GameObject.find. So we have to go through another route. Don't worry about that, we got a solution. At the top here, I'll do a public input field. That's gonna be my file name. And we'll just swap our method around. So file name input, just like this, and we will be replacing our GameObject.find. This whole line here, we're gonna be replacing it by our public object. Now we gotta be setting that public object, however, so let's go under Game Manager, find our file name input, and let's put it right here. Alright, back here we've got our menu popping again, so let's hit cancel. Do that green line we've mentioned with, it's not really a line anymore, but who cares, right? So green line, we are going to save this, yep. Then once we pop our menu, we have green line, right? So that's pretty good. Now in terms of loading, it's going to be a little bit different. Well, first we need to give an action to our button. We need to actually, like, when we press on, say, text or green line, we're going to replace the text down here by whatever we're trying to load or save. If we want to overwrite, we can also do that. So let's give an action to our button. Under the save manager, I'll do a private, doesn't have to be public, so a private void on save click. And I think that's gonna, oh, on save click is gonna take, it should take a string. Is it gonna take a string? Well, let's actually think, yeah, let's actually put a string to it. So string name. I'm not quite sure if this is the best. I don't know if we should actually give the name or give the int, the save counter int. But we'll find out. Okay. So refresh save list, that's cool. On save click, we are going to just go in our button right here. We don't have the button, let's find it. So go.get component in children or get component. Let's do get component button dot on click dot add listener. We're adding the listener, and now that's a big delegate right here. Function on save click, and we're sending the name. So what is the name at that point? It's save data at the index 0. And since we're in a delegate right here, we have to declare another one. We have to declare another string. I'll just call s save data at the index 0 and just put s in here. Cool. So when we actually click on the button, we're going to receive the name of that button back. And let's actually send both parameters. I feel like we need to send both parameters in this case. Or not. Okay, let's leave it like that. I can't make up my mind. Sorry about that. When we click on this, what we're going to do when we click on this is we're going to be setting the input field, the file name input.text. We're going to be setting it to name. And that's all we're going to be doing here. Let's try this really quickly. So we're booting the game, hit cancel on that. Then once we pop the menu, we should be able to click. Nope, we're not able to click. The reason we're not able to click is because there is no button on our save prefab. Right here, there should be a button. Let's add one. There we go. Alright, now it should actually work. So click here, we get all our things. We click on save test. It says text in the file name, green line. So we've added some inputs to these two guys. However, at this point, we need to be able to say that if you're saving and the name is green line, don't add another one on top of it, like it did right now. So we added another green line. Let's actually make sure that we overwrite the last one with the same name. Now, this is a little bit complicated to do. I think we're gonna have to keep track of all the saves from the get-go, actually. And now I just thought about something else. When we're going to be trying to delete something, then our whole mechanic is not going to work at all. Saving the game for this thing is a little bit harder than I thought. I thought it would be simply, you know, you just iterate through all the player pref, and, you know, that's going to be super easy, but apparently it's illegal to do that, so we'll find some other way. So when we actually get rid of one of the saves, let's say we're getting rid of the second save, then our save counter is going to stop working. So whenever we do delete something, we have to just take that index of something and then take all the next save afterward. Just replace their index by current index -1. So just do some kind of sorting with that. Also, right now, a problem we have is that we don't really have any way to match the names with the index they're at. So I think we are going to we're going to be creating a dictionary actually. Let's do a private. Actually, let's include system.collection.generic. Do a private dictionary of a int and also a string. I'll just call it saves. Now, if there is a key, we are going to say saves dot add, and then we get, well, the first key we give is a save counter, and then we get the actual string. So let's go ahead and say, oh, should we get the name only? I think we should get the name only. Let's do that. Let's only get the name. So string level name or save name or map name, just name. That's gonna work. Save name is gonna be equal to player prefs. We get the string that is at the index save counter. Well, not really string, but you know, the key save counter. And that is going to be the whole string, however, so we'll have to do a name dot split. We split at the modulo sign at the index 0. It's a little bit complicated for nothing, but that's how it is. So now at this point we should have a public dictionary. Let's make it public so I can have a look at it while the engine is actually running. So if I press play here, do I actually have access to see everything in there? No, we don't actually see it. What if we turn it into a serializable field? We still don't see it. So I just think that we won't see it at all if we can't do that. That's fine. We don't need to see it. We know it's working, I think. Not sure. We'll find out eventually. Okay, so we have a key here, and when we do unsafe click, we're sending the name. The name is now file name input.txt. That's fine. Now when we do our save function, we grab the file name. That's fine. And let's just check if that file name is already being used. So how we are going to be doing dictionary, my dictionary is saves, get or find. Do we have a find? I don't have a find. We can do try get values, we can do keys.find. I've never really iterated through a dictionary before. Well, I don't want to iterate through, but never really, how to say that, looked for a key. So how do I find specific key in C# dictionary? We're gonna be learning together, guys. Good times. We can be using a link queue. Alright, let's do a first or default. Or this guy says that it's not really efficient. Okay, let's go with this solution then. Back in my code, just going to paste this in here. We already have my value, right? We already have file name. Now, if saves try get value, and it's looking for my key here, so that would be my key, I believe. And out my value would be the integer that I want. What am I doing in the save already? Oh, I just want to, in the save, I just want to know if it's being used or not. So a single, the simple try get value is going to give me what I want, I think. Okay, I just get it. I've done my dictionary the wrong way around because I'm actually trying to look up using the key here, using the value instead of using the key. The value being my string name, my save name, and the key is just my int. So I want the int here. Oh, actually, I just want to know if it's here. Contains key. There's something called contains key. I'll be using contain value. So I can actually do that. So if it contains our file name, then I'll create a boolean up here. Is used is equal to false by default. If is used, if there is a value, then is used is actually equal to true. Or to make it more explicit, I'll be using it like that. So if it is used, then I don't want to be doing save counter plus plus. So if it's not used, we do save counter plus plus. And if it is used, we want to override something we already add in the past. And it's not going to be save counter, it's going to be the actual string we find that has a matching name. So we do need to have another name here. We do need to get the integer. Okay, so let's just look at those functions a little bit more. Saves dot. I wish there was like some kind of try get key. There is a try get value, but I don't have try get key. Alright, what about we swap those around? We do a string as the key, and int is gonna be the value. So we can actually swap those around. We won't need is used anymore. I'm gonna be using something else. Well, actually, we are going to be using is used. My bad. If it is used, we do contains key. The key is going to be the file name. And then we just proceed. At this point, if is used, we need to override. So override. Else we're creating a new one. So a new one is being created that way, I believe, just like that. The same way we were doing before. But if it is used, we need to actually get int the key or the actual value, or I just call it k. And then we do a k to string. So in this case, k is going to equal dictionary, actually saves the try get value, and we try with file name out k, just like that. This makes a little bit more sense, I hope. So we should now be able to override our actual save, and I'm gonna give this a try. Hopefully nothing explode. Like, we've done a lot of code without testing. It says element with the same key already exists in the dictionary. Okay, that might be true. Who knows? Let me just wipe all of those guys. Try again from fresh. And we spawn this. We are not going to enter anything. Might as well test out our other function, why not? And if we click here, we don't have a name, which kind of sucks. Let's try creating a second one. So let's say 2. Save this. This one is called 2. Let's do a third one. While I'm just spawning stuff in the background as well, why not? So we have nothing, 2, and third. Nice, okay. If I go over to 2, if I actually just make like a shape here, or just add some green. If I go over to 2, click on it, then I save, it created another 2. Okay, so it didn't really work as well as I wanted this to work. Let's head over to this guy, see what happened. It created 0, 1, 2, and 3, that's fine. It's a direct representation of what we have here. And I think I just understood what's going on here. When we create our save, we don't add it to the dictionary, which is something we should be doing, according to the logic I've put in there. So I'll be taking these lines, and in the else statement, I will be doing the following. So we'll be using file name and save counter. Let's make sure we delete our last save because that's the one that was corrupting the rest. Go back, and we now have nothing, 2, and third. I'm going to click on 2, load it up. Nothing seems to happen, so another fix that we have to do afterward. Oh, I think this is due because we have like something in front of a string. We now have the name, so the loading doesn't work anymore. But let's go ahead and just try to override this guy. Are you sure? Yes, I want to override. I think it worked. Since we don't have a load function, we don't really know. But let's have a look at the this guy here. So it says third, and then pipe. Okay, no, it says third, and then it does the thing. Right. Okay, so let's head over to... When we load, we're gonna start at I is equal to 1. So we actually skip the name of the first cubes. And we don't end up breaking everything, I think. If we load up this guy. There seems to be nothing on it, which is quite unfortunate, to be honest. We save this as green line. Save. Click on green line, do a load, and we don't end up loading anything. I don't think we never really coded our load function. Sometimes I'm stupid. We're still using test, and not, test is nothing. There's like basically nothing here. So here's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna go back to where we actually fetched the name of our input. Here it is. We're gonna be loading using, we have the file name. Then once this is done, we do int k is equal to saves, try get value, file name, and then out k. Put that on the wrong line again, int k, simply like that. And that is going to be, I think that's going to be pretty much it. So we get string k to string, and we should now have our green line again. Let's try this. Green line, load. Here it is, on top of the other one. Obviously there is something that doesn't work in our load function, but as you can tell, we can load things on top of other things. Let's load up our third, why not? We just added our mess for the third object. And let's do 2, that's cool. And let's save all that mess we just created, let's save it under, say, third. So save, go back, let's just wipe everything. And try to load this with, I think it's third, load, and that's our whole mess. So we did the override. The override is working. Now the delete thing is gonna be a little bit of a mess. I don't know how to do the delete, to be honest. We're gonna have to iterate through every single index after the one we're trying to delete and just change the whole prefab. It's gonna be a mess. Now, as far as this one goes, the one that doesn't have a name, we also need to change that because we don't want to have anything that is, you know, not named. So what happened up here is we do save counter to string if there is no file name. Let's do if file name there's probably something with like is white space or is null white space. If we do string is null or empty, and the value would be file name. Right. If that's the case, we simply do save counter to string. Save counter should be a number, so I'm assuming that this is actually going to return some kind of number, but it didn't seem to work last time. That's the problem we have. Anyway, let's put that on the side. We have to work on the delete function, the one that is giving me like a hard time right now. So we load an object, that's cool. 2, that's cool as well. Let's add a save, a delete button to that. So, private void on delete click. Actually, this one has to be public. We're gonna put it beneath our other public function. So public void on delete click, or simply on delete, why not? And at this point, we need to grab the name of what we're trying to delete. So string file name. We got it. Then we need to find its index. So let's do string, or sorry, int index, or I like to call it k for some reason. I'm not sure why. We do saves try get value. We're gonna try and get the value that is called file name. Now I'm wondering if it's not a better idea to just put a little X button like right next to the actual name. That would be a little bit better, I think. Now let's actually leave that like this. So file name out K. And now here's come the best part. So we are going to go ahead and just get the player pref of this. So player pref delete key. The key is going to be k2 string. And then let's check. So if, well, we'll have to do this in a while loop. So while k plus 1 to string. Is that gonna work? So if, let's say, while player prefs has key, and the key is gonna be k plus 1 to string. If it has this key, then we need to do something about it. So let's go ahead and just, well, get it first because we need the data. We need to transfer that data over. So we'll say string data is equal to player pref get key or get string, the key being k plus 1 to string. So, oops, k plus 1 to string. And now we have the data inside of it. That is if there is a another key. Let's take this line here and just drop it inside of the while loop. Or never mind, no, we have to leave this one here. So has key plus 1, get string. So if there is a key, we're gonna say player pref, then we're gonna do a set string. This time we're only doing it at k to string, so on the index which is deleted, we're replacing it by the old content, well not the old content, but the next content we have. Just like this. And then we do k++. I believe this should actually work, hopefully. I think it makes sense. However, we might end up with, yeah, we might end up with something a little bit weird here if we leave the last one, the new one, if we leave it alive. So we're gonna do k+1 to string. We're going to delete the one we just swapped place with. All right. Why am I holding a piece of paper? I don't know. Okay, so let's just grab the one. This is the load of the first function, of the first save file. If we click on this one and we try to delete, we don't have delete button. What am I doing with my life? Forgot to add the delete button. It should be somewhere here at the very end. Why not? That is delete. Good times. Let's find our button. This time it's gonna be save manager on delete. Alright, so go back in my menu. We have saved this one. I don't want to see this one anymore, so let's do delete. And then something kind of happened. Kind of. But I still have like one remaining thing at the end and it kind of pissed me off. Let's actually go see in the registry what happened. We have 0, 1, and 2. Okay. Let's go see green line, what he looks like, so we remember. This is green line right now. Doesn't seem like what we've made in the past. Let's grab green line, load. Okay, so that's green line. That's cool, nice. Now we go over here, we're going to delete third. And I think it swapped green line, well, it did swap green line around. Is the data inside of green line still good? Okay, it is, so that's pretty cool. But for some reason it didn't really delete, it didn't really update in my, it didn't really update. Okay, that's because the save counter didn't go down. I just figured it out. Wow. Nice. So save counter also needs to go down. There we go. Everything is cool now. And also when we do delete something, let's go ahead and just close the window. So what is this? That's a confirmation window, I believe. There's no confirmation window for deleting. You just click on it and it's gone. Save menu, set active. We set that active to false. So we can now go back to whatever we were doing before. Okay. We have 2, we have green line, we're gonna click on 2, delete it. It goes away. Do we still have our green line? We don't. We don't, but if we just boot the game again, I believe it's gonna work if we boot the game again. Let's find out why it doesn't work on the second time. This is really annoying. So why would it not work the second time? If we delete something, why can't we just load it up again? Oh, it is because we have the dictionary that's just messed up now. Since the dictionary is messed up, what we could do is just create a new one. Just redo this thing here. If we're really lazy, we could just redo that thing, or we can keep track of the changes as they happen. But since I am lazy, I'm going to recreate the whole thing. So I'll be putting that inside of a function, call it private void refresh dictionary refresh saves, like that. And at the very top, I'll do a saves is equal to a new dictionary. Okay. So I don't think I could be any more lazier here. We're gonna do a refresh save when we start the game, and we're also gonna be doing a refresh save when we delete, I believe. Yep. At the end of our delete, actually. And do we need to do it when we save? I don't think we need to do it when we save, because we do, we're not lazy here apparently, and we add it to the dictionary. Yep, that's what we do here. Oh well. This is the last attempt into making something out of that. It's the last attempt because it's going to work. Nice, we're saving this. The name's gonna be Dave. Dave's a good name. Confirming the save, we're gonna go back here. We now have green line and Dave. We load this up. We have the green line on top of Dave. Then, okay, out of range exception. What is this? That was weird. I have a feeling this might be caused because we have so many things just being spawned on top of each other for no reason. What if I do delete the green line and then I go back? Dave is still here, and I try to load Dave back up. We didn't get any error past the one I've got earlier. So here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fixing the load function we have. Where is our load function? In our save manager, of course. So here we have to reset our grid. We're gonna be like starting from fresh and having a fresh block array. So we might want to be creating something inside of the game manager that's gonna be taking care of all of that. So public void refresh. Hey, thanks so much Player Sim OG for following. And we're gonna refresh the whole grid just like that. Public void, because I want to be accessing this from my save manager. Now all I have to do at this point is just get rid of everything. So let's go and say something like block is equal to a new block array of 10 10 10. So we're just forgetting about, oh, it's actually 20 20 20. Okay, we're forgetting about everything we have here, and also we need to get rid of all the blocks. And I just realized that to do that I'm gonna be iterating through blocks, so let's not do it that way. We're gonna do a 3-level iteration. So int I is equal to 0 as long as it is smaller than 20, which makes me think we have to change it somewhere else in the code. I is smaller than 20, then I++. And let's go ahead and do that for J or G. And finally K, just like that. Now inside of this, we will do a destroy. We're gonna destroy the game object, so destroy block at the index I, J, and K dot transform, well, block transform, then dot game object. We destroy it and then we set it to null, so blocks I, J, and K is equal to null. And that will be our refresh right here. Now I gotta be finding where we put that somewhere else. I mean, we put that code somewhere else earlier, and I was putting 10 instead of 20, but since we actually bumped up our range, then we actually need to put that pretty much everywhere. So where did I put 10 earlier? Okay, over here, inside of the save, I was not saving beyond 10, so let's actually change that for 20 now. which is a little bit stupid. We should have that inside of a private const somewhere, but I currently don't have that. We'll fix it when we have to clean our code. Good times. Alright, let's check this out. So, what am I actually... Okay, yeah, I'm actually resetting stuff. I'm actually trying to just create something really quickly. I'm going to cancel that. Create an object that is recognizable. That's going to be my blue line right here. Nope, it's not. Okay, now it's spawning. That's my blue line. More than just lines. And let's save it as blue. Now if we go ahead and just hit save, I'm going to try and load Dave, and I want the rest of my actual design here to just go away, so I don't want this anymore. It didn't seem to work, so I wasn't able to destroy the game object of those. That's because I'm not calling my function. Okay, nice. I forget like these little things all the time. Sorry about that. Let's head over to the load function. This is where we should actually be calling the function we just made. So we're gonna say something of the sort just before parsing this and then calling create block. I'm gonna say game manager dot instance reset or refresh grid. Should be reset grid. Nice. So we have our save and load. We're gonna load Dave first. Is not set as an object, so we were not able to load Dave for some reason. We block here. Oh, we forgot to call if it's null or not. So if blocks ijk is equal to null, we do a continue. Final attempt, because this time it's gonna work. Let's load up Dave. This is Dave. It's pretty messy. We're gonna add some more mess to Dave. And let's add blue now. It got rid of everything, went back to my actual first design. And isn't that wonderful? It took a little while just to make the save working, but I think it's working pretty much flawlessly now. If we forget about like the fact that if you don't input anything, you say like delete, you're gonna end up not deleting anything. So we need to add some more checks there. So if you're trying to load something without a name or with something that doesn't exist, what does it do exactly? Doesn't seem to do anything. It didn't even clear your object. So you're trying to load this, load, it doesn't want to do it. Might want to be like just inputting some kind of debug.log for now. I'm gonna go back here and say it does a get string. It should actually run all of that. Let's do if k. I can't say if k is equal to null because that's an int and it's defaulted by it's defaulted to 0, and 0 might be one of our save game. So I'm not allowed to say that. I gotta be using some other kind of tactic to know if a file name was found or not. So maybe just do something stupid like that. Just do a if saves contains value file name, even though we do it just right before that. If it contains the value, okay, if it contains the key, k. If it does not contain it, we do a debug.log. Unable to find file. Let's wrap this up inside of scopes because we are going to do a return right after that, just making sure nothing else breaks in case it has to. So let's do a return here. Same thing for, well, not same thing for the save because you can always save no matter what. On delete, however, You might have stuff that you can't delete because it doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and just say if saves contains key, if it contains a key k to string. Wait, was I using that before? No, that's a little bit stupid. Contains key, file name. I totally forgot what I was doing a second earlier. Contains value. Okay, that's what I was doing. Nice. I am due for a break, I think. If we have the value k, then we are going to go ahead and just do a return and also debug.log while we're here. Unable to find file. Might as well have the 2 dots plus file name. Alright, so I think that's gonna be where I conclude this this hour, yes, because we've been going for an hour now. I like to keep those around that time. Don't want to like burn out too much because I forget like what I have to do sometimes. We've done the save, a more advanced version of the save. It's working a lot better than it used to, at least, that's for sure. If I just toggle it off, tried it for like it's actually used to, sorry. If I try it like it's supposed to be in the game, we don't see it at the beginning. Then if we click on our save button, which is the green one, we pop our save menu. Right now we do have one save called blue. Let's click on that, load it up. Yeah, sure, I want to load it up. Yeah, sure. We end up with our design. Now, if we try to, let's say, try to save another one called, I don't know, Dave or Michelle. That's good. If we try to save one and just change it a bit while we're here, let's add some red. That's Michelle. And if we want to load blue back up, it got rid of what I just inputted. Now if I want to go back, load Michelle. Here we go. So it put back the little mess I just added to my design. And if I just want to get rid of something, so get rid of Michelle, we get rid of it. Ooh, doesn't seem to work. So unable to find file. Why is that the case? If it contains the value k, what if I actually try to do it after resetting? Unable to find the file name, okay. For both actually, so I broke something somewhere. If saves contain the value k, then we go ahead and we try to delete that k. What if I actually use player pref instead? So if player pref has key, k to string, oh, if it doesn't have the key, what did I put prior to that? I'm just wondering. Okay, so I got it wrong, basically. I want to say if we don't have the value, then we're not able to find a file. If we have the value, then of course we want to proceed with deleting this thing. I did it here, I forgot to do it up there. Just common mistake because I forget stuff. Nice. So we try to delete, let's delete blue because he's like above Michelle. We delete it, Michelle's still there, we try to load him. He's supposed to be the blue line with some mess around it. Oh. We were so close to having it work, so close. But in the end, we're unable to find the file, Michelle. When we delete, we do refresh our dictionary, I think. Yeah, we do a refresh save, which should actually just put it back on the map. What if we try to delete it now? Or what if we try to load it right now? Seems to work. Okay. So we'll have to find out why, if we delete something, we'll have to find out why we can't get it back afterward. Well, not the object we deleted, but any other objects. Probably, we do save counter ++ here. We need to reset that somewhere as well. In the refresh save, I think I'm gonna do save counter is equal to 0. In fact, we don't really need a save counter anymore since we have the dictionary. We can just use the length of that. That would be a little bit more smart. But I'm already invested way too much in having a save counter. It's too late to go back. Okay, so let's add some green. We're going to be saving this as Dave. Good time. So save. Let's just recreate the same exact setup we had when our error occurred. So if we went over here, we loaded up these two. That's fine. That's also fine. Now we delete Michelle. Do we delete? Go back. Dave is still there. Can we actually load Dave up? Now let me just spam some stuff. And we are able to load it up. So we pretty much succeed. We pretty much succeed in having a save that is able to save, load, and delete. Isn't that wonderful? Ah, so much work went into this. I don't know why it was like that long, but it's just how it is. Right, so I will keep on working on this tomorrow. I'm just gonna be like refreshing my ideas a bit, just you know, think about what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. We still have a undo button to make. We still have like the menu, a simple menu screen to make. That's gonna be like 20 minutes, and I think that's pretty much it. After that, we just have to do some polishing, and we're ready to just call it done. A lot of polishing has to be done, however. Like clean up the code, just change those icons, put something that makes more sense in those icons. And I think that's it. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be continuing this tomorrow, and I'll see you around. Peace.